Welcome to the Warren Cycling Podcast. My name is Dean Warren. I'm in the Netherlands. That's why it's so dark, I guess. I'm in Amsterdam, and it was cold and rainy, and you could see the same weather at the that De Pan. What was the I just watched the end of it. Something De Pan. Did you see that one? It was a sprinters race. It had all the best sprinters. Like everyone was there. I don't see. I didn't see Mark Cavendish as it did not finish. I know Caleb Ewan didn't. Yeah, but it got 16 kilometers to go. Jasper Philipsen, one of the best spinners, instigated a break, and that was crazy. It was wind blowing, rain, and four of them got away. Yves Lampert.
Yves Lampert.
Yves Lampert was the wrong Sedal Quickstep guy because he had Jakobsen behind, but. And then Olaf Koy was there, another fast finisher, and then
Koy's been a great year. Yeah, he's been finishing.
Yeah, but wow,
that was 1 second back. Did he get dropped? A lot of Destiny rider, Frisson?
He went first, Frissner, yeah. But the announcer, I think Robbie McEwen, and they're saying like, Lampert's got to do something because he's up there, and that's their Well, he can a little bit. He's got and. He didn't
not against Philipsen or Koy. They're top quality, top tier sprinters.
So,
and then
but that was
won the field sprint too.
Yeah, so he did. I know. So like
injury.
Sedal, Quickstep messed it up, I guess. But that's the same conditions I had. That's the same conditions I had riding with John today. We got to ride in because there wasn't rain. Well, it wasn't raining when we went out. It just rained towards the end, but it was windy, and I was like Groenewegen and Arnaud Dumas. I was not like able to hold John's wheel sometimes because I was like trying to record some on the video, and anytime I like didn't pay attention to staying right on his wheel, if they got a gap, I was done. So,
we got rain here in Nashville too, so it's not as windy, but same rain though here too. But we're gonna have like 80 degrees though in 2 days, 75 tomorrow and 80 the next day. So it'll be
All right.
I haven't watched it a little bit. Well, I wanted to watch Sean Quinn win today, and he wasn't on. There's no video that I can find of it.
And then there was another American one today too. Did you see?
No.
And the Volta Luke Lamperti.
Who I know a little bit. I helped him last summer and got to know him, and his mom was there too a little bit, and he's a super nice guy. He's a really nice guy.
Yeah. He's super young still too, riding for Trinity out of the UK, riding in the Volta Alentejo in Portugal, and he got the win today. So I think there was
so he's a really good sprinter.
Yeah. He's a Criterion
national champion. Yeah.
National. Yeah. So.
And so it was 14 guys together who had a 4-second gap. Well, so it means even the 4-second gap was probably someone just let the gap go. It was a huge field sprint.
Yeah.
Huge field sprint, a whole field. And who would I see? Rui Costa was there too. So there's big riders in there. Just real quick. Yeah. No, Fabio Costa. Fabio Costa was there.
Yeah.
So nobody big was there. No teams. Right. See, Burgos HGBH, which is second level team, but good. His teammate Max Walker, Lamparti's teammate, was third.
Wow.
Yeah.
Good deal. Yeah. Well, let's tell our listeners and watchers of the YouTube Me in the Dark here that it's going to be like the shortest podcast. The most. I thought I'd be back earlier. You were in a meeting that we would have a longer one, but then my transportation didn't work out to get back in time. I'm here in the Netherlands, like I said, and you're getting ready to do lots of other stuff going on this week, and meeting, camp, travel. So, but it's Warren Cycling Podcast episode 321, I believe. It's March 22nd. It's our niece McKenna's birthday today. Oh yeah, I don't think we'll probably not even do birthdays. We'll just say McKenna, happy birthday. Not a cyclist, but it's her birthday, 23 today, so happy birthday to her. And the big news, Volta Catalunya is going on, and it looks like I would say, okay, Mark went up for Remco Evenepoel.
Today.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's had trouble.
He looked strong the other days too. Just maybe wasn't racing as smart as he could have. I don't know.
Yeah.
He was stretching
today, it. So he didn't finish. He didn't play the finishes very well.
No, well, even today he didn't, because he celebrated that big like celebration, coasting across the line when he needed another second to take the overall. But I mean,
he's
he
he's
was,
tied, so it goes to
yeah,
countbacks, right? So and Roglic has 22 seconds of bonuses. Evenepoel has 20 seconds of bonuses, but Ciccone beat them both. It was yesterday, right? He beat them both.
yeah, yesterday
On the finish. I
which
didn't
was
see
nice.
today though very much. I just saw the very end. I turned on just the very end, and it was just Evenepoel and Roglic together, and then the rest of
Yeah,
the field was a couple seconds back, so 13 seconds back, with
right.
Ciccone getting a few other seconds too to solidify his third place too, because he's riding really well. And then I looked back real quick on the replay, and it looked like there was a break off, and then at one point Evenepoel and Roglic must have gotten off in the last climb. It was a lumpy course, right? So there was a
It was a
big
big
climb,
climb
and a
down
descent, and a
Molina, and
climb.
then yeah,
Yeah.
and then it climbed up to the finish. But yeah,
And Chavez was off the front yesterday solo, and he was in the break
Esteban Chavez,
today.
BF
Right?
Education.
But
It was
yeah,
Richard Carapaz
yeah,
in the break today. Yeah. But
yeah.
we only have a few minutes, and I don't think we can do this podcast very well quickly because we always like to talk so much about everything. But it was the first monument over the weekend, last weekend,
Oh, yeah.
and it was predictable that Pogacar would try to do something, and UAE was pretty instrumental in setting up really Mathieu van der Poel because they were pushing the pace, and then they were leaving gaps, and it was Walt Van Aert that was closing gaps, but Van der Poel just riding on Van Aert's wheel to go up. But Filippo Ganna was the most impressive, almost to me, that he was so
Well, yeah.
strong up the climb that he's going to be a force, I think, in maybe the classics to come.
And
But
he's targeting Curry Ray, so he's
yeah,
supposed to be keeping to that.
yeah,
But so I was both impressed and unimpressed with Ghana, because he impressed that he could make it over the climb with the big guns of Matteo Van der Poel
oh,
and Wout van Aert and
descended
Pogačar.
so poorly.
Well, it descended poorly a little bit, and then when it came to the run-in, he was not taking hard pulls. I think that they expected him because he's got the biggest engine probably of those guys in terms of like a pure time trial engine.
No one was going to sacrifice themselves to bring the other ones up. No, Pogacar doesn't care. I don't think not to. He doesn't care about podium.
Yeah,
He
he even
he
pulled it
doesn't
towards
win.
the
He
end
doesn't.
and
He's
got
not going to like
third.
sacrifice himself to get on the podium.
Yeah, but Ghana, I think, was working the least of the three at
Yeah,
the end.
but he
Like he wouldn't take,
played it right to get second place.
yeah, but he wouldn't even take any pulls. Like every time it came to him in the front, he'd like pull off immediately. Like he didn't even try and take 5 pedal strokes. It was like I think if he would have,
He was the worst sprinter of the three, right?
well, probably, but then he
Yeah.
didn't leave it to the sprint. He just
Well,
powered away at the end. Yeah, yeah,
yeah. But Van der
yeah.
Poel just was um super
One,
in his lead outs at Trinity Racing, but
yeah.
otherwise not like anywhere where he was before in that race or in the Giro where he's just showing his power left and right. But he put it all where it needed. Beautiful descent and power on the pedals to the finish line. And it was great win. I mean,
Yeah, it was, and Roman Polidor, his grandfather, won, I forget how many years ago.
what, it's like 60 years. It had been like what, 30 some years since a Dutchman has won too, like
30 or
late
40. Yeah, yeah,
end of the
yeah. I
80s.
saw, I
Yeah.
saw, I saw a picture of the Polidor and Matteo Van der Poel. They put them together, and it looked cool. Having them both win there. So it was a really good race. I didn't watch the whole thing again. I watched, I think I turned it on and just watched, so I was still here. I didn't leave from my ride till later, but I was doing other work and stuff too. And so I think I had it on the background for a long time. And then I really started watching just as they hit the Poggio. And then that was, once again, the decisive, things happening. Although, they keep saying that before that, so much stuff that happens that makes up what's going to happen there. But still, that was.
But we have to mention Nielsen Paulus. I mean, he was right up there. It was Matteo Trentin that really caused the gap
Yes.
when and so then the riders that could jump around, and Paulus was one of those caught out that couldn't jump around, but
He also
was right up there.
He
He
got
got
caught
seventh.
by Trenton a little bit. He was on the coming. He tried to come up on the left, and Trenton was kind of in his way, and he was ready to make a move, backed off a little bit to wait for the gap to open a little more. Maybe he even yelled something and left. I'm not sure, but then he went, and so I don't know if he would have. I expected after that to see him maybe chasing solo, but He would end up being a small group and finished third in that small group. So what, seventh place?
Seventh
right?
overall. Yeah, amazing. Yeah, great race for him. So
yeah, so really good race for him too. He just shows how strong he is. I just wonder that if that gap, if he was able to jump when he wanted to jump, and I think he was probably felt good, and he hesitated a little bit, thinking, I can't go with those guys. Oh heck, I'll just try. And then he's like, oh, I can't go yet. And then he went. If he wouldn't have had that bit of hesitation in there, maybe, who knows if he would have been able to.
He would have gotten fourth.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, you never know, obviously, too. So, I mean, because again, when Donna wasn't taking the poles through, no one really jumped hard to try and pull there too. And like Paulos had nothing to lose. He might have tried to jump hard, but then
then whoever chased the sacrifice. Yeah.
Who knows? But it was impressive for sure. Yep.
Yes.
Yeah. EF's been having a great spring for sure. I mean, they've been racing really well. With again another win with Quinn today. So.
Right. And then
there was a decent article too about that, even though there wasn't any video that I've seen, but there was a decent article about it. So
Sean Quinn's win.
Yeah, Sean Quinn's win. Yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
So I have to go pretty soon, but they also came out this week. Big news on the gravel front is that national championships were
September
announced.
9th.
It's going to be some podunk place in Nebraska, almost all the way in the far western border of the state. It looks like
it's just not too far from Colorado then.
Like a little more than 3 hours from Denver, driving wise. So I'm thinking I might fly into Denver and drive up from there, because to fly directly there was
like, too bad you can't race pro and go for the $30,000, huh?
Yeah, well, I could go for it, but they were even saying that the placing
only 5. Yeah, a lot of people are going to be disappointed not getting it's going to draw a big field, and they're going to have I think the big points where the women's race is the same length and the same payout, and the women like that. That's what they learned, but they didn't like from the UCI. Too. Yeah. Yep. And then there's going to be a pair event too, so Josie's excited about that.
Yep, pair event too, and a non-binary event. The only thing for me that affects my schedule is I hadn't entered it yet, and one of my athletes, Gaylord, actually had already entered the unofficial gravel world championships that are in Lincoln, Nebraska, just 2 weeks before that. And so he'd already entered it, and this week he can't actually come to it because his son's getting married the day before, so he can't race it. But he was encouraging me to do the race in Lincoln because it's the unofficial. They even give a world championship jersey and stuff too. And I thought, well, I'm gonna do that, but I didn't enter yet, and it's a good thing because I can't imagine going out and then coming back and then going back out again. And also I can't go and just spend 2 weeks there either. So I'm gonna have to skip that one and then just come for the USA Cycling National Championships.
Well, we can talk about that later on in the year more. One last thing before you go. Sharon Van Roy, U23 cyclocross women champion, jumps and gets the win at Alfredo Binda. So
breakthrough win for her. Yeah.
She's super young too, but wow, lots of good stuff going on in Volta, Catalunya. I'll be there Sunday. Well, if all goes well. You never know with the flights, they might not work out, but looks good to be in Barcelona. Weather looks good. So, we'll talk to you. Who knows when, because you're going to be gone with your...
The top birthdays? We have a few top birthdays, right?
Oh, well, go for them. I didn't...
Mario Cipollini.
Oh, who's that?
Mario Cipollini. Great racer,
Fashion guy.
Yeah, he's got some issues otherwise, but so I think I don't know if he's currently in jail. He's got something going on right now, but
really?
He had domestic abuse, I think, situation. So, but tons of great wins and a good racer. And apparently, when he was a kid, he was off the walls, like ADD and
AD.
So it was great. So when he started racing, and then I remember hearing a story that a coach of a team said, "Here, I'm gonna take him off your hands," to his parents, and they're like, "Take him," because we can't control this kid. And so they just put all his energy into training. And so I think that's coming back to bite him off the bike now. But anyway, Jakob Volson turns 38. Yeah. So those are the top two, and then 63-year-old is Julian Garaspe. Oh wow, yeah, Garaspe. All right. Oh. So a few birthdays, a few people there. That's all I have on the list right now. I didn't look at the whole list yet.
Yeah, well, you got to go. It's the quickest podcast we've probably ever done. But
Ben King. I'm sorry, Ben King's birthday. I forgot about that.
Ben King's birthday today too.
34 years old. Yep.
March 22nd here, 2023. Yeah.
Tracy Sane, also a good friend of mine, his birthday too. He's not on the list, but I just know he's a good racer. He won day 2 of Haute Route one of the days here. So Travis Brown, American. That's all I see.
All right. Well, thanks for bringing those up. Thanks for doing the quick one, and we will get back whenever we can and catch up with what's going on. So, good stuff.
Yeah, it's great racing. Yeah, for sure right now. Yeah.
All right. Talk to you again sometime.
Yeah,
All right.
thanks, dude. All right.
Bye.